Okay, I think we got this straightened out. I haven't done WTF in a few minutes. Welcome, guys. We are gonna do ClickUp. This today is all about ClickUp. This is my first time doing live stream on YouTube, but not doing the whole Zoom room WTF. But I encourage you to put your questions in the Zoom or the YouTube live chat, and I will be monitoring that chat. And if you have any questions, I will be sure to answer them. And if you want to post questions after the fact, if you're not catching this on the live stream, we will also be monitoring that, and we will catch you and try to answer them as well. The first thing I want you to do is download ClickUp. Okay. I have a link in here in the comments. You can download ClickUp for free. Also, you can go to my link in bio. I have a link there. If you can't find it in the comments, you can find it in the link in bio. You can download ClickUp for free there. It's a free account. Get ClickUp, download it, do yourself a favor, because that way you can follow along. It'll be super easy. I'm about to blow your mind. I've used Asana, I've used Trello, I have used all kinds of things, and I am here to tell you ClickUp has been the best of the best. It has been a godsend for my business. I've just absolutely loved it. So I wanted to kind of start from the basics and give you just kind of like an overall view, overall rundown of things. And again, if you have any questions, let me know. I will, do my best to answer them. And I'm just going to kind of show you like some things that blew my mind and see what we can knock out here. And this anybody can watch this, but it's mainly aimed at real estate agents. Okay. So keep that in mind. I'm going to be giving you tips from a real estate agent to a real estate agent on how to like level up your business, but really anybody can use this. All right. Okay, let's do it. I'm going to share my screen here. All righty. And first of all, how you can download ClickUp is go to poppleme.co up here /Sandylyn, SANDILYN. And if you go down here, you can see download ClickUp. If this looks different, if you're not watching this on the live stream, then you'll see how you can download ClickUp in probably one of these buttons down here. Okay. Now, I'm going to start with ClickUp over here. So your ClickUp's going to look different. If you are just now downloading it, it's going to look like, a baby ClickUp pretty much. You're not going to have these spaces here. I had to wrap my mind around like, how am I going to use ClickUp? And so I'm hoping that this is going to help you, because you can use some of my ideas and implement them into how you're going to use them for your project management and things like that. Okay. So ClickUp starts with an everything here. And then it also starts by giving you a team space. Okay. Take a little sip of my coffee here. And then it gives you what they call a list and its projects. I'm going to give you another tutorial up here. ClickUp has many views. You can put this into list view. So again, we're at this like parent level team space. And then they have like project, and they named this project 2 and this project 1. And then they would call this task 1. And then here's what you would, your to-do thing under it. Now, so that's kind of how I've always like pictured Asana, was like in list format, if you're familiar with Asana. In board format, that's kind of how I've always pictured Trello. Okay, so I knew right here that this could totally replace Trello for me. This is my board format, and you can totally adjust and change these statuses as needed. Okay, this was what we started on. This is the calendar format. They have this Gantt format. I will admit I have not messed with this yet. This is total nerd shit right here. Here is a table. Again, nerd shit. I've never messed with this. And then also, here are all the other views that they have: mind map, workload, activity, map. Okay, so here I use map actually back in Trello, where I mapped every single real estate transaction I ever had. And when I did my listing or buyer presentations, whoever I was talking to, I would go to map view and I would just like, if I was in person, I'd spin my computer around, or if I was doing a presentation via Zoom, I would just share my screen and I'd be like, listen, like, here's my experience. And I would just click on the map and show them the map. It's, if people are visual, they can see, you know, here's all my experience. Here is where I've worked. And that is very powerful. So it's really neat when you can change the views of all your tasks and where you've worked and things like that. So it's pretty cool. Okay. All righty. So let's get to it. That is just a quick little tutorial. We have not even scratched the surface yet. Got to move my little face down here. Okay, now here are some more things here. When it says show, here are, I'm gonna go back to a view that I actually look at. Let's go to board here. Not to be confused with boring, like what this is so far. Okay, show. So now I gotta move my face over again, which you guys don't see, but oh yeah, you do see my face. Okay. When you're in a Zoom meeting, you don't see like your own face and controls, but when you're, I guess when you're streaming live on YouTube, you do. So that's interesting. Okay. So if you are, this is very important because this was a learning curve for me in ClickUp. If you are doing something and you're like, holy shit, where'd all my stuff go? Go up here to the eyeball show and make sure you've got what you need selected. For instance, if it's like show closed subtasks or show subtasks or whatever, make sure you have what you need that you wanted to see shown. Okay. There's also like assignees stuff, me, subtasks, just different things like that. So I just wanted to show you that, make sure you have what you need selected there. You also have auto save view. So for instance, when it defaulted to that calendar view on that space, you can have it default to that every time. And I'm going to show you what that means on these other spaces. ClickUp's going to start to make a lot more sense on these other spaces. Okay. That was just a quick walkthrough. Hopefully this starts to make more sense for you. All righty. And then ClickUp obviously has a bunch of automations. I have not dabbled in automations yet, but I was like an automations queen with Trello. So I know that, well, I've dabbled a little bit with automations and I'll show you that part, but I know automations are going to be like next level. And I've watched some YouTubes on it. So I had no problem getting ready for like, or migrating to ClickUp because I saw the capabilities with the automations. All right. So let's get to it. Here is my marketing calendar. Okay. I just wanted to show you this because it's super powerful. First of all, it's kind of cool. You can see with ClickUp, I'm online here. So my assistant, for instance, can see, okay, boss is online. She's working in ClickUp. If I need to chat with her, I can, type thing. My assistant, I can see, is online as well. So that's kind of cool. On the calendar, you'll see many color codes, and that's also kind of cool. You can code things any way you want to code them. So for us, I wear many different hats. One of my hats is I am that broker girl. And so we have different social media things related to that broker girl. All right. And then I also have real estate things and client and consumer facing things for Team TBG, Team That Broker Girl. Okay. So that broker girl stuff is in purple. Team TBG stuff is in orange, and other things are in gray. So you get the point. All right. I'm going to open up a few of these things so you can kind of see how tasks work. All right. So, and kind of how we map these out. So Testimonial Tuesday, I wonder if we have this even okay. So they write these out, but I'm going to show you what's neat about this. So first of all, we comment to each other on this. We talk to each other in ClickUp. It's pretty cool. She can resolve comments. I assign this to her. She actually resolved it. She just didn't actually hit resolve, but if I assign a comment to her just to make sure she knows about it, and then she commented back, boom, she resolved it. So that's pretty cool too. You can add attachments inside tasks, things like that. In case you haven't seen by now, I'm a super nerd. This is the actual SOP, standard operating procedure, for our Testimonial Tuesday. Okay. We have our Canva template here. It's a link that goes directly to Canva. It is where, my virtual assistant can update the actual template with the approved script. And then it says, every Tuesday, request reviews from at least 3 to 5 people. And then here are some people to request reviews from for Google. And then it's generate caption and chat GPT. So here is a really cool thing about ClickUp. No longer, and we got to update our SOP here, no longer do we have to go to chat GPT, because, and now I'm talking about a paid version of ClickUp. ClickUp has many free features, but now I'm talking a paid version of ClickUp. Okay. Actually, we don't have to use ChatGPT anymore. Generate caption and ClickUp. And so I even say what phrase to use. So I'm going to copy that. And then what I'm going to say is /WR, and it's write with AI. And I'm going to paste that phrase. And I'm going to see what ClickUp comes up with. I don't even have to leave ClickUp now because they have AI in it. Okay. So it gave me my SEO keywords. Here's my social media post. Now, what I can do is I can either take it as is, or I can say, I can actually give it more prompts to make it what I want to say. I can be include my client's name, XYZ. I can say, make it. My favorite thing to say in using AI is make it more relatable. But it looks like they already kind of did that. It looks pretty good. Let's see what happens if I do that. It makes me dizzy when it does that. I like can't even look at the screen. Okay. What I want to do here is also use this as an opportunity to share to consumers why we are a valuable team. Because it's not just about bragging on ourselves. Like we want to try and like slip in. It's not just like, oh, like we're amazing. So what can they do? Okay. Teach consumers a little something about buying at the end. So you can just keep doing that, like, and personalize it. And what you want to do is now these prompts that I used, I'm going to put back into the SOP. And next week, my assistant will do it. And I just have to check her work. So I just did what, 10 minutes of work. Next week, my assistant does it. I simply check it, and then I'm moving on with my life. Let's see. Now, a little tip. Always consider the location. It's not just about the house, the neighborhood. Okay. Like give them a little bit of value, make it worth reading. You know what I mean? Okay. All righty. I like it. And what I'm going to do is, all right. So what you can do is you insert it right there. And I'm just like a freak like this. I like formatting. Okay, I'm not going to waste your guys' time on that. Anyway, so it already says which hashtags we like to have. I've already done my hashtag research. I like these hashtags instead. Sometimes I'll keep a couple of the suggested hashtags, but I like testimony on Tuesday, Quad Cities real estate. These are the hashtags I like in here. So we already have our system here. What I'm going to say though is back up here, generate caption and ClickUp, use this key phrase. What I'm going to say are use the following prompts. I'm going to say act as a social media manager, blah, blah, blah. The next one was make it more relatable. The next one was, I have a terrible memory. I'm just going to say teach them something. Oh yeah, it was like tell them why we're so great, but I didn't like that part. Teach consumers something about buying a house. Or share a fun fact. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to say like example. And then what else I'm going to say is replace AI testimonial quote with real testimonial quote. Or remove it all together if it's in the graphic. So you want super specific instructions in your SOP. If you're not spending 5 hours a week in your SOP setting up your systems so that somebody else can take over and manage them, you will be never excelling at your business and burning yourself out and just spinning your wheels for basically the rest of your career. And so that's why I just wanted to show you. Basically, I started my live at probably 10:10. So I explained ClickUp for the first 5 minutes. Probably this took me 15 minutes to kind of go over with you. AI developed this part, but I wanted to show you how I would make this social media post more genuine. And then what I'm going to do is go down here. I'm going to take these because I don't want these to get lost. And I'm going to put these back up here. So add these hashtags. Remove excess emojis. So what they're going to do is they're going to change the status to needs review, because then Sandy, the boss, approves it, or I'll kick it back saying changes required or something like that. Here are our statuses up here. They change the status to needs review, and then I'll either say revisions required and I'll say what needs to happen, either the graphic or the caption. I'll be like, use this prompt instead, or sometimes I'll just change it myself. It's too much to go back and forth, but sometimes I like teaching them. Okay. And then I'll approve it. Once approved, post to Facebook, Instagram, and LinkedIn. What they do is mention, and then so they mention me, and then they make sure to mention Team TBG. The more that we're tagging each other, the more that the algorithms go up. So we have to have a very specific SOP, and then things change, also like add music on IG, add 2 stories on IG. You know what I mean? There's always a little something each time that we tighten up and tighten up and tighten up. And then boom, we just tightened up this SOP. And then next week it's going to go and it's going to go and it's going to go. And I'm going to show you the back end of how we like discuss and tighten up our SOP. We have another chat system as well. I'll show you that later, because the cool thing about ClickUp is it ties into Slack. It ties into all kinds of different Slack channels. And now we don't have to say completed this task in Slack. When we complete a task in ClickUp, it lets us know in Slack. And that's what's super cool. Okay, so hopefully this helped you like just understand how my brain works, how I do these tasks. I set these tasks to recurring. And depending on the amount of assistance that I have, or, sometimes my staff is on holiday. My main assistant just had a baby. Okay. So do we always get to every single task? No. Do we prioritize? Absolutely. And that's another great thing that ClickUp is awesome for. So just because you have a ton of tasks, don't stress yourself out, but always try to level up your systems. So I just wanted to show you that is what my marketing, social media marketing calendar looks like. Okay. But what's cool is you can go to like different lists and just narrow it down to what you have. Like, so my That Broker Girl only list looks like this. My Team TBG, all things like real estate, seller tips on this day, buyer tips on this day, testimonial Tuesday, Monday memes, that type of thing. So we've got different lists if you want to just look at a certain view. What I showed you, the parent one, that's everything. And that's kind of cool too. Another cool thing is you can have this tied into your actual calendar. So I don't have this, hell no. I don't have this tied into my actual Apple calendar, but I do have my transaction coordination calendar tied to my Apple calendar, and that's super helpful. So for instance, I had a listing getting photographed yesterday, and that was tied into my Apple calendar. Super, super cool. So that is my marketing list. That is how I operate there. Here is That Broker Girl operations. This is everything that operates my business. Here's my SOP for my virtual assistants. Here is the list for executive admin, my ISAs, my social media managers. I guess they made a PR list. Here's what we do for referrals or to gain referrals. So like, let's go to this list just so you can see it, because I said I would show you things that you can do in your business to level up. So my virtual assistants will go into Facebook groups and search for referrals coming into certain cities. So let's go to this. All right. Check real estate referral groups, and then they link which groups, and they keep expanding the groups, by the way, and look for these referrals with, coming to Davenport, Bettendorf, LeClaire, Eldridge, Moline, Cole Valley, Rock Island. And then they post to this Slack channel and they let me know and they tag me, mention That Broker Girl so that I make sure to see it. So we have our process for that. Just by doing that simple task, I think they've found me like probably $10,000 worth of business. So that's really cool. That's a cool thing to have in place. Also with EXP, we have a internal Facebook server called Workplace, and they do the same thing with our internal server. So yeah, I would say like another 10 grand there. So that's pretty cool. Events. This is separate from Marketplace. So what they do is they check we get our brokerage, or excuse me, our local association newsletter every Monday. They check that newsletter. These are subtasks, by the way. So that's how you can see that. These are subtasks. So what it says is check Sandy's email, screenshot these events and post it to the Slack channel. For instance, this. And this is what I say, like, sure, sign me up for this, or no, I don't want to, I'll pass. Once approved, register her and add it to her calendar. Boom. That's something I don't have to do. That's, like 10 minutes of my hour taken, it's gone. Okay. So that's just an example there. Go back to it. Let's see what else I have them do. The Bettendorf. Now this is kind of cool because they've got that like Bettendorf community newsletter, but I also have them post events. I do not go to any of them, but I have them post events because sometimes they're good for me to be in the know. And then also to I'm a realtor. I should be letting people know about community events. I should be in the know. Yesterday on stories, I was posting like fun trivia quizzes, and I was being like, what time's trick-or-treating tonight? And when, or like, where are the road closure? Like, where did the latest road construction start in Bettendorf? And people were wrong about it. And it was like kind of cool because it's kind of good to know where's local road construction and stuff at. And so just local things going on, kind of good to know about. And then these are our brokerage newsletters. I need to know about shit going on. So I have them read it and then let me know. Okay, so that's events, different than marketing. It's stuff that I attend and make decisions on, and they RSVP me. This is them, my virtual assistants, letting me know when they're in, letting me know when they're out. Now, this is a standard check-in, check-out channel. My assistant lady, for instance, she has her own check-in, check-out. These are all her specific tasks. Okay. So this is like a standard check-in, check-out where somebody's going to take this and they're going to copy it into their own list. That's above and beyond. This important emails channel is something that email is Sandy Burnett's kryptonite. Okay. It is one of the biggest reasons I hired a virtual assistant. And so I have them check my email. And so you can see there's like 6 subtasks here. But what they do is they check my 3 different email addresses. These are the different types of things that they're doing about it. And they're letting me know important emails. They're posting transactional emails to our certain Slack channels or our certain transaction coordination channels here. They're letting me know about things. Okay. So this is just like, these are that broker girl operations. And hopefully maybe you learned a thing or two that can help you in your business. Courses. I put together several online courses, and I'll just show you a couple of things in here. So I have the ultimate guide to prepping your business for your virtual assistant. Okay. That was one of the very first comprehensive courses that I put together and released. Okay. And you can find that on virtuplicity.com. Okay. So how do I keep a course like that organized and updated? I feel like I have a responsibility to people. If they're paying thousands of dollars for a course, that I should be keeping it up to date, latest and greatest, lessons that I learn about virtual assistants. But how the hell would I possibly keep this organized? Well, remember when I mentioned status updates? This is what I'm talking about. So I decided I'm going to start with an idea / module. I'm just going to like name it right there. Okay. When it's in the developing phase, it's here. When it needs review, it's here. When it's in production, and in my mind, I'm like filming it or refilming it or whatever, revisions required, approved, and posted to site. So that is how I'm keeping track of things. Okay. So just an idea, if you are going to be doing webinars or courses, I just thought you might want to track it that way. Okay. So these are my courses, each list, and how I keep track of them. Again, if you go up to the parent task, you can see all kinds of modules and things. Okay. Which would be a nightmare because I like to keep my list separate for that. They're all different courses. Okay. And then this is like virtuplicity processes. What's cool with ClickUp is if you have different companies, you can go to those different lists, those different spaces, and keep track of your different businesses, and then it doesn't get crazy. Okay. Part of me wants to show the transaction coordination board but part of me is worried that YouTube is going to flag my video. YouTube gave me a strike a while back when I tried to do a KV core training, because I did a KV core training and they said because I was showing names associated with addresses, they gave me a strike for bullying and harassment, even though it was a CRM training. So my transaction coordination board obviously has that shit. My cards are named that and everything else. But I'm most proud of my transaction coordination board. My lists are fucking awesome. My processes I'm very proud of. And that is going to be the first thing I'm going to automate, because in Trello, that was what I had automated. So what I might do, if you guys are interested, I might do a separate transaction coordination training where I do like a fake, like a fake address, fake whatever. And then I put it through all of my lists so that you guys can see them. Okay. Especially after I automate, I think that it would be very cool for you guys to see it. I move it through the pre-listing, active listing, accepted offer, everything that we do and how I have it organized. I think it would be really cool for you to see that. That is my favorite thing that I use ClickUp for. It is the most powerful thing. It is how like the notifications are fucking amazing on it. And I will show you next. Let me stop share real quick. Pull up an transaction here. Something. Okay. Hopefully YouTube doesn't flag me on this. Okay. So I have a Slack training out there and I might do a fresh one for you guys. I might do a fresh Slack training, but here is an example of ClickUp tied into Slack. I love it. Because my assistant, she sometimes will put, boom, I followed up with this, because, that's not necessarily a task that she wants to put, or that was necessarily in our SOP. But you can get the gist of our SOP in our transaction coordination here. And now it's all automated, because here are my transaction coordination channels over here. And these are our tasks. And the coolest thing is, and I'm afraid to click on it, but if I click here, it teleports me back to ClickUp. In the olden days, when agents, and some agents still do this, they carry around files and it has every single detail on the outside of the file, like the seller's information, phone number, email address, and the buyer's, all their information. Is there a home warranty? And when was the accepted offer and all that other stuff? If I click on that, immediately on my ClickUp card, I find all that information. My assistant logs all that shit. And it is so awesome. As soon as I click on that, I have access to all that information, and just the click of a button, no more rooting around in files, no more, trying to figure out anything. So it's super powerful. And I can see right here. Now she doesn't have to write, I finished this, or like, what transaction are we talking about? It's at the tip of my fingers where I can see where we're at in this transaction, which items have been completed, things like that. So as a real estate agent, I just think that is super powerful as well. Yeah, so that is a quick walkthrough of ClickUp. I'm afraid to go, super duper deep. I actually, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to show you just a couple more things with the AI, because the AI to me was hands down my favorite part of ClickUp. So I'm going to show you just a couple more things with that. It's just so mind-blowing for me. Okay. Let's go back to some AI stuff. Let's just hang out in the marketing area. So let's see here. What do I want to do with AI? So we've got this, search generic posts and quote. I know what I want to do. Over here for buyer tips. All right, we got to do a did you know? Okay. So write with AI / write with AI. Now you also see that you could post something. Let's say you wrote something out. You love writing something yourself. You could say improve this writing, or you could paste an article, something you read, and say simplify this writing. So it has other options here. All right. So I'm going to say write with AI, and I'm going to say, give me a fun or interesting fact, like a did you know about buying or selling a house or taking care of a house. This is for a social media post for my real estate team. You want to give AI context. You want to let them know what it's for. The more context it has, the better. Homeowners paint their door red when they finally pay off their mortgage. Tradition. That's kind of cute. You know what I mean? So you could have that, like, boom, we solved our did you know buyer tips. It used to be so stressful to be like, what are we going to do for our buyer tip today? Like, and look at how quick and easy that was. We got it solved. Now I'm going to insert that in here, and I'm going to say for SOP, no post fun or interesting fact about a house, buying or selling a house, or maintaining a house. This is for a social media post for my real estate team. Now, what we're going to do is, do you notice like this SOP needs some work? It needs to have, those extra steps in there that had like our hashtags, the other shit that we had in there, but I'm not going to like put you guys through that. But don't forget the whole point of SOP is like, if one assistant's sick, because I don't normally do this, my assistant does this, but if I have to take over and I have to step in, I don't know how to do half this shit, because I leverage my time out. So I want to just sit down and know how to do. I want to be able to be like, step number 1, this is what I need to do. Step number 2, okay, I got it. Click this link, post that. You want to be able to have your business so systematized that anybody can do it. Okay. So that's just something to keep in mind. So you get the point there. It's super cool. Down here, Throwback Thursday. Let's do the AI there. Right, with AI. Write a social media post for Throwback Thursday about a piece. Obviously, it doesn't know our memories, so it'll either have to be like a personal thing, or we're going to put this in here. Now I'm going to start freaking copying my prompts here. Okay, let's see what it comes up with. Concept of real estate's been around since the dawn of civilization. Regenerate, that's dumb. I don't like it. So you can just say regenerate if you want to change it. Real estate transactions in the 1800s. If you wanted to buy a house, you didn't scroll through listings online. Well, no shit, it was different in the 1800s. Instead, you'd have to physically visit the property and negotiate directly with the owner. Well, no shit, this is the 1800s. No agents, no MLS. You and the seller hashing out a deal over a cup of tea. That's dumb too. I want to regenerate. Romans would hang for sale signs on their properties, much like we do. Okay, I like this one better. And then always what I do is I don't make it so like AI. I put personality into it before I post it. I don't post this shit verbatim because you don't want it to be, people can tell and they're just going to get bored by this. But so it's just meant to be an idea to get your juices flowing. Okay. But this, you get what I'm saying, that it helps you complete your tasks so much faster and easier. All you have to do is come up with the idea for your tasks. So what I'm going to say up here now. So SOP, write with ClickUp AI, and then that, and then that. Okay. Obviously, I need to tighten up my SOP on this, but it just gives you another idea. So yeah, this is just a training on ClickUp. If you, once again, in the caption, there is a link where you can download ClickUp for free. In my bio, there is a link where you can download ClickUp for free. If you are watching this on the replay, feel free to put your questions in here. We can totally answer them to the best of our ability, or if it's a really good question, I'll do a training on it later. But I hope that you got some value out of this, and I hope that you will attend our next WTF Wednesday, live 10 a.m. Central every WTF Wednesday. I'll see you guys next time.